What's up, guys? This is Derek Rogers with another Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest video. Today we're going to be looking at the event Colors of Magic. It was released alongside the set of Puzzle Masters. The recharge time of this is at 23.5 hour intervals. It accumulates 4 charges per node instead of the usual 1. So that means when you join the event, you will get 4 charges up front. And then at 23.5 hours, you will get your other 4 charges. And I really like that setup. It fits almost everybody's schedule, so we can't really complain about that. It has special rules where cards can't gain any mana. And when you match gems, you will trigger the specified effect where X is your mana bonus of that gem's color if it's greater than 0. If you match 4 or more gems, double the strength of the effect. So the trick is to pick planeswalkers that have really good mana bonuses. That's pretty much the biggest secret of the game. There is a permanent support in play on both sides that reads, at the beginning of your turn, draw a card. When you make your first match during your turn, gain 1 loyalty, then reduce the cost of the first 2 cards in your hand by 11. And when you match these colored gems, this is what will happen. White, you will gain X life. Blue, you will create X stopped or tokens. Black, the first opposing creature gets -X until end of turn. Red, deal X damage to your opponent's planeswalker. Green, your first creature gets +X until the beginning of your next turn. The objective on the top node will be win the fight against your opponent, and then we have Peasant, one with only common, uncommon, and rare cards. And then we have Nimble, cast 10 or more cards with cost 11 or less. So let's go join the event and do some deck building on this. You can pretty much play with any planeswalker that you choose. My recommendation is playing one with strong mana gains. I decided to put BlueStacks on my computer to help. I will not play any games on this because if you have too many apps open at once, it is very, very slow, as you can see. But what I'll do is I'll build the decks so that way we have both screens up. And then I will play the matches on my phone and I will switch. So I think for the top node, we're going to run Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, because his mana bonuses are really good with +3 to white, +4 to blue, -2 to black, which is not great, but I don't think it'll really matter all that much. And then we get +1 to red and +2 to green. But his third ability is just broken, and that's what we're going to use to control the game with. Let's go pick a deck. How to build a deck for the top node. We want only common, uncommon, and rares. And then cast 10 or more cards with cost 11 or less. So we're going to go click on Mana Ascending. So that way we have the lowest first, and we'll scroll over to 11 and we'll start picking and choosing our cards from there. This event is going to be all about control. It's going to be about controlling the board. Gem matches will not matter at all, really. Every card that we play, we should get 2 free per turn. When this creature enters the battlefield, discard a card, then draw 2 cards. This could really help with card draw. I would also avoid cards like Midnight Clock. Gem conversion isn't going to be super important. And this effect down here, I don't believe will actually even gain you mana. So, I mean, you could draw the 4 cards, but they're not going to get filled up anyways. So, it's not really going to do you a lot of good. Same thing with gem conversion. We're just going to avoid that completely. And we're just going to play off the 2 cards alone. Harbinger of the Tides to bounce creatures back to their hand. A little bit of control there. Journey to Oblivion. When this support enters the board, exile target opposing creature. So this will be a good one as well. Staggering Insight for lifelink and card draw. I think converting to loyalty will be a good thing, so maybe we'll put one loyalty converter in there. Giant Thief also works really well if you're a newer player and you need card draw. Tower Geist will work well for fetching cards, and it's a 4/4 for 9 mana on top of that, so it's a pretty solid card. Turn to Frog to destroy things. We also have Turn to Pumpkin, which is also a really good choice too for this event. We still need 4 more cards. Inscription of Insight to return 2 creatures back to the hand, so return yours and one of your from your opponent. Suppression Bonds for some disabling effect. Alright, so we need 2 more cards. Let's go look at spells. I think we'll find one more spell and then we'll put in a loyalty converter. I think would be the best play here. Heliod's Punishment. This is a good option. Target opposing creature can't attack and can't block. That creature gains enchanted. At the end of your turn, if you have 16 or more mana in your hand, this creature loses that. So we'll put that in, and then Ferocious. Ability is active as long as you control a creature with base power 5 or greater. Alright, let's try this one. Alright, so now we have the bottom node. It will have the same permanent support. I believe it does this. No, okay, so the puzzles are different. At the beginning of your turn, draw a card. When you make your first match during your turn, gain 1 loyalty, then reduce the cost of the first 2 cards in your hand by 11. Puzzle. The first creature with the least power in your hand gets +X/+X. That's for white. For blue, you have increased cost of the first card in your opponent's hand by X. Black, your opponent loses X life. Red, deal X damage to the last opposing creature. Green, reduce the cost of the last card in your hand by X. And for the objectives, we have win the fight against your opponent. And then we have Peasant again, win with only common, uncommon, and rare cards. And then we have Overpower, cast 10 or more cards with cost 11 or more. I would recommend probably Karn on the bottom, because the tip for the bottom node is to run a deck with exactly cards that cost 11 mana. So everything becomes free. You can't play cards with, because they have to be over 11. But if you have too many cards in your deck that cost more than 11, you're going to have a hard time playing them. Let's get rid of it and start over again. So, common, uncommon, and rare. And then we want Mana Ascending to start from the bottom. But we need to stay away from these cards, because we need 11 or more. Alright, so cards that cost 11 or more. And we want to try to not go up to 12 at all. What does this guy do? This is new. Destroy the first 2 creatures each player. Well, that's non-targeting removal. And it costs 11 mana, so we will use that one. Destroy target creature. If this card was foretold, draw 2 cards. That's going to be a good one to add in there. Occam Adversary is one of my favorite pauper creatures, especially for green when you're just running him in a green deck, because he will give you card draw, and card draw is one of the most important things. Finishing Blow is nice creature destruction as well. We will use Conclave Naturalist for support destruction. Draw 2 cards. We'll get some more card draw in there. Okay, that's all we have to choose from. So let's do it by support. And then we'll go back and find the 11 mana cost and see what we have. Might be able to run Tournament Grounds to keep our loyalty up. Okay, I do not like my options here for supports. We do not really have a good 11 mana base. Let's find one more creature that we could find useful at 11 mana. Okay, here we go. We could use War Oracle for the life gain. Maybe that's what we'll use. I'm not seeing anything that really sticks out. Of course, we could run a 4 creature deck. That will fill the deck out a little bit more. So we can mutate him and then run the War Oracle, and then we just need one spell that costs 11 mana. Okay, right here. So we have Unleash Fury. Thwart the enemy. Your opponent's creature power becomes 0 until end of turn. That looks like a decent option here. Alright, now let's exit out of here. Those are the decks that I will be running for Colors of Magic. If you guys were struggling and you needed some deck ideas, I hope this really helps you guys out. Thanks for watching.